Well, ladies and gentlemen, I made a video recently about Barbie, and in that video, I talked about the potential for Ken to essentially just get cucked in the entire movie because Barbie is trying to be this ultra feminist female boss who needs no man in this upcoming movie. Like, we knew this was going to be a thing, especially when the director and Margot Robbie and everybody involved was talking about how it was going to be that ultra feminist kind of movie. Now, why am I talking about good old Barbie again? Well, apparently, the Barbie actor Issa Rae describes Ken as a great accessory and someone who does not have their own story. Like, what? I don't. I don't even know where to begin, ultimately, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, because you got to think about this for a second. Barbie and Ken is a notorious couple, right? Like, people know Barbie and Ken. Even if you don't play with Barbie dolls, you still probably know about Barbie and Ken. And to say Ken is just an accessory and doesn't have his own story is just a absolutely insane feminist trying to make up this wild story because they want to be a strong female boss that needs no man. So we're going to get into the article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But, of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. It says Barbie actor Issa Rae, who plays President Barbie in the upcoming film directed by Greta Gerwig, recently shared how she would describe Ken. In an interview with Fandango's Naz Perez, Ray, Kate McKinnon, America Ferrara, and Margot Robbie were asked, "What is a Ken? How does one spot a Ken?" Robbie answered first, saying, "That's so funny because when we were like in a prep for this movie, two of our wonderful producers, one of whom is also my husband, when David Heyman and Tom Ackerley would start talking about like Bitcoin or something like director Greta Gerwig, and I'd be like, they're being such Kens. They talk about golf. We're like, stop being Kens. So it's hard to define what makes a Ken, but there can also be a big Ken energy, and that's a good thing," Robbie added. Ferrara then interjected as Ryan Gosling says, "Kenergy." Robbie continued, "Kenergy is not something you can define. It's just something you can sense and know it." These people are absolutely insane. Like, I just... just the fact that they're talking about Ken in this manner is like, dude, come on. Like, what are you talking about? These women want to try to downplay men as much as they possibly can. And if there is a man that is doing supremely better than them, it's always for the reason of a woman, right? Like, they can never just say, oh, that man has it all together. That man is clearly very strong, very independent, and he's great. Like, no. It's always toxic. It's always, oh, no, the man is doing good because a woman was involved. It's never that kind of thing. And yeah, they want to say, oh, there's just that big Ken energy, but they never can quite say what that is. So they just kind of leave it up in the air without any real explanation because ultimately they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So it says, when Perez redirected the question to Issa Rae, she said, "I think a Ken for me is just kind of there. I think a Ken is just a great accessory. That's what I loved about Greta's imagining of Barbie, is that the Kens are just supplemental characters to these Barbies, while Barbies can do everything Kens are there to kind of support and don't necessarily have their own story." Here we go again with the femboss kind of nonsense, right? They want the Kens to not have a story. They want the Kens to just be there and be supportive to the primary stars, who are the Barbies. Now, of course, Barbie is the star, though. Barbie is the star in the franchise. Barbie is the doll. It is the main doll. It's always been the main doll for a lot of girls. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Ken has had his own story. Ken has had his own presence, and Ken has been his own doll. He hasn't been an accessory. He absolutely has been his own thing. So the fact that they're trying to pretend like he is not, for the simple fact that they don't want to. They don't even want to acknowledge that he's even existing because that they feel like is going to take away from Barbie, which is weird because Barbie and Ken have been able to exist side by side for decades now. But all of a sudden, because the feminists are in control of it, now he can't. He has to be an accessory. She added, and I think that's not necessarily a negative thing. It's incredibly strong for men to be in a supportive role and to support the greatness that is women, Barbie. I can't with the feminist stuff, man. I really can't. They really are narcissists, man. They really think that they are greater than what they actually are. Like, what are you actually doing that makes you so great? I really want to know, like for a lot of these women who think like this, what is it about you that makes you think that you are doing something or being something so great or greater than anyone else, including men or other women? Like, what makes you think you are so amazing just simply because you're a woman? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. You are literally doing the bare minimum, and you claim that everybody else is doing the bare minimum. It's weird. It says McKinnon then said, when I read the script, I was like, I actually went to college with Greta, you guys, so I know that she's a genius. I knew that even before any of her movies came out, so I knew like how brilliant she was. When I heard she was doing the Barbie movie, I was like, what is it going to be? But I knew it was going to be something, and then I read it, and it was like, wow, about how like gender roles deny people half their humanity and how we need to just be ourselves. And it's like a very powerful message. Here we go with the gender role thing. And now, again, gender roles existed for a reason. It's because society was able to thrive based on those gender roles. People did what they were good at, but now you're trying to tell people to do the opposite and expecting things to just be better than they were. And we've seen time and time again that that's not the case. The more that you destroy the traditional family, the more things get worse in the country, the more things get worse for people's personal lives. Traditional family is the way to go ultimately at the end of the day. That's not going to guarantee you have a great family. It's just going to guarantee you have the highest chances of the best outcome. But of course, there are exceptions to the rule, just like there is with everything. There are people that are born to absolutely terrible families that do great. There are people that are born to single mothers that do great, but overwhelmingly the majority are from traditional families that do great in life, and everybody else who decides to go the opposite way tend to not do as good. That's just where the numbers fall. Then it says, and so like I spot a Ken, and it's just like everyone's themselves, you know, she concluded. So listen, at the end of the day, guys, this is where the Barbie movie's at, okay? This is where you know the Barbie movie's at. I've said it time and time again, I'm not going to watch this movie. I think that's pretty obvious at this point, but I have a lot of subscribers that surprisingly are going to watch this movie. Now, it could be from a nostalgia factor, which is fine. I get it. A lot of people want to watch Barbie simply because they grew up on Barbie, and that's fine. Do you. Do what you got to do. But I would love to know what you truly think about the movie. Now, taking the identity politics aside, tell us what you think about the movie. I would love to see in the comments down below after the movie comes out. If you come back to this video and let us know, that would be great, because I really don't think this movie is going to do very well. I think this movie is going to not bomb, but I think it's just going to lose a little bit of money. I don't think it's going to make a lot of money. I don't think it's going to break even. I think it's going to lose a little bit of money. But again, it depends on the budget. I don't know what the budget of this movie is, but hopefully it's cheap so that it can make as much money as possible for itself. But if it's not cheap and it's high, just like every other freaking movie these days, then chances are it's probably not going to do very well in the box office. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.